Hello, welcome to Waypoint Survival. Today, we're going to talk about how to build an easy do-it-yourself cooking shelf. Stay tuned. So we're out here in the woods, just doing a little trekking and walking around, enjoying the beautiful warm weather, springtime. And I built something the last few days that I thought you'd find interesting. Some of you perhaps saw my survival shelf video for using a mushroom as a shelf, and I'll put the link to it right up here. But a lot of people live in areas where they don't have a lot of trees or they don't have those kind of shelf mushrooms. And it can be difficult sometimes to find a place to cook. In the wintertime, or even if it's really rainy and just wet and muddy and the ground is soaked. I use a gas stove a lot of times. I like cooking over a wood fire, but I've used a small gas stove for many years. And so finding something that you can keep up off the ground, there are commercial products that are sold, but I put together something that I think you might find interesting. So stay tuned, I want to show you what that looks like. Alright, so here in our haversack, what we have today is a small stuff sack. We'll put this down. And in this stuff sack, and this is those stuff sacks you can buy at Walmart, there's 3 different bags. I think it's a blue, red, and this orange one for like $5. So super cheap, very handy. But what I've done is inside of here, I just have a simple cutting board. And this is rather small, you can see by the size of my hand. And what I've done is I've taken a door hinge and I cut out the back here so that it fits pretty well flush with the side, and that also provides a rest. So when you open it up, this will rest against the wood here, okay? And then just some screws, and I just filed and sanded those off so that they're flush, so they don't have sharp points sticking out. You can use 1/2-inch screws, but 3/4 was the best I could find for the right size to fit inside of the holes here of the hinge. And like I said, this is just an old door hinge. It's about 3.5-4-inch hinge. Also put a small hook on one side, and I also incised this and cut this out right here so that this would fit down pretty well flush inside and not make, you know, a big hump, because I wanted as much surface area as possible. So that's the basis of the shelf that I made. Now what makes this work really well is I also picked up this strap. Now, this is not a ratchet strap, this is just a tension type strap. And the reason I use this is because it's much lighter than the ratcheting kind. If you want to use the ratchet kind, you can, but this you just pull to tension it, and that's okay for me. I also took the rubber coated metal hooks out of both ends and just substituted a lightweight carabiner. You only need one. How this works is quite simple. You just put this around the tree, and I have mine at about, maybe 4 feet long. You take the carabiner and you snap it in like that, so it forms your loop. And then all you do is you pull this tight, push a little button in, and you tension it. And you get this to where it's fairly tight on the tree. Leave a little bit of space, because you don't want this too tight yet. And take your shelf and put it, the strap, like this. Takes a little bit of finagling around because you want it kind of tight. Okay, and once you get that down, then you fold this like so, put a little downward pressure on it, pull this a little tighter, get it as tight as you want it. So here we have our shelf. Now if you find that you have a tree that's leaning slightly or your angle doesn't work so good, what I have done is I've taken just a small twig, and you could put up here in your hinge, and whatever size you need, again, the weight will keep that down there. Now this is a little high for me. This isn't how I prefer it. It's actually about neck height, so I'll lower it a little bit to show you how it works. But this just is a good idea of how you can build your shelf and make it so that you can cook on it. And so just to give you a little better idea of how it looks on the tree, come around this way, see the strap, and there's the tensioner, carabiner, and our shelf. Now inside here I have my little stove, and this is just my little stove that I use for cooking when I'm out and about. And this little shelf will hold quite a bit of weight. I mean, this is a full bottle of water, so I'd say it'll hold, oh, I don't know, 4 or 5 pounds, something like that. But we get our canister out, set it on here, stove out, hang the spoon, and get the pot out so we can do some cooking. So we got the stove set up, titanium pot on top, and we'll put some water in here. Alright, about halfway. And then using my lighter, this has an electronic ignition, but I don't normally use it. Just find it easier just to spark with a lighter. Lid on, and there we have it. Wonderful little cooking shelf, place for the spoon. It's all right here and safely up off the ground. This type of shelf for cooking is particularly handy when you're out in terrain like this. Everything is just grown up, it's springtime, there's not a lot of clear ground around, and it has rained quite a lot in the last several days. And so being able just to find a place where you can put up a stove and do some cooking off the ground at whatever height is comfortable for you is a real advantage. Alright, we have a good rolling boil. I'm going to turn that off. Scoot this aside. And what's nice about this is this little small bamboo shelf that I've made is wide enough that you have room for, you know, setting your lid aside, and it's not huge. It doesn't take up a lot of space. The whole thing doesn't weigh a lot. I'll make sure and put the actual weight up here in the video. But anyway, so yeah, so you could lay some food here, have your food cooking on one place. I mean, you could technically put 2 stoves side by side even if you wished. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a little bit of some spiced cider in there. I like cider pretty well, and just a little something to drink while I'm out wandering around through the woods. And of course, convenient spoon just hanging on a very small little hook, and you can just easily stir it. And again, this is a little high. I wouldn't normally cook quite this high, but just for the video, for demonstration purposes, just makes it a little bit easier to show. It's a little hot still. Of course, this is one reason why it's always nice not to put too much water in it at first. You can always pour a little cold water in it just to bring the temperature down a little bit to make it more drinkable sooner. You can always wait for it to cool down, but if you have plenty of water with you, it's no big deal. Why wait? All right. There's something about a hot drink, whether it's tea, or coffee, chocolate, hot apple cider, spiced apple cider. It just tastes good out in the woods, and just kind of brings a level of comfort that, I don't know, it's just kind of nice. And I have a lot of property around here to wander around in, so it's pretty nice to just have something along with you as a little pick-me-up as you wander around through the woods. Takedown is a breeze. Just pull it up, hold the hinge back, slide it inside the stuff sack with a little hook pointing up. Come over here and push the pressure release to open it up. Just release the carabiner and you're done. No harm to the tree, and your little portable shelf is ready to go. I just like to roll this up like so. A little neater package. Again, small, compact. Slide it down inside. Close the stuff sack. And there you have it. Back into the haversack, and time to head out of the woods. This is James Bender for Waypoint Survival. If you enjoyed the video, make sure and give it a thumbs up. Also, make sure that you share it, and if you haven't already, subscribe. We really appreciate it. Also, check out the links in the description box below, and don't forget to press the bell button to stay notified of all of our upcoming videos, and we'll talk to you next time. Hello, welcome to Waypoint Survival. Today I'm too close, and I just backed up a little bit. Now it's in frame. Let's do that again. The briar's in the way. All right. Now it's stuck to me. Ow! Look at that. That's stuck on me. Well, let's have at it. Box below, and don't forget to check that bell button. Do it right. Do it right. Do it right or else.